Hey, this is Greg with Gravity and Momentum. I'm going to show you how to make two different blood recipes that you may need in a pinch. I'm going to show you how to make a blood recipe that is non-toxic, means it's edible, but it will stain. And I'm going to show you one that can wash out, but it is toxic. It's not good for your skin or your mouth. It's not safe for your eyes or anything like that. Before we start, just to remind you, our blood jam is going to take care of all of that. This stuff is safe for the mouth, safe for the skin. It's non-toxic. It's going to wash out of everything. But there may be instances where you can't get a hold of our blood jam. You have paid for it and you want to dump it all over the floor. Why spend good money to dump a product on the floor when you can just make something at home? Or you're just in a pinch and you need to make something really fast. So that's what these recipes are for. So we're going to jump right in. We're going to start with the version that is edible. So if you can't get a hold of our blood and you need something that's edible, know that this will stain your skin. It's going to stain your clothes, but this is a safe recipe to do real quick. What I'm pouring in is 16 ounces of corn syrup. It doesn't matter what type, it doesn't matter what brand, just get some corn syrup. 16 ounces. This is the best base. It's a sugar base. You can try other sugars. I've tried so many different syrups and sugars and honeys. Honestly, corn syrup is the best that you're going to get as a base. Just the best looking, and it's super cheap. It's not expensive at all. It's like $2.50, $2.29 for a bottle, and you can go ahead and get the generic stuff because you're just going to pour a bunch of stuff in it. So what I'm going to do here, all I have to do is literally put in an ounce of red dye. So I pour that 2 tablespoons of dye equals about 1 ounce. So that's all I have to put in there to make that happen. And then I stir. I just stir this right up. And you want to stir slow at first, that way the extra on top doesn't splash around and get you, because right now it's just loose dye. So that dye is really loose. We're trying to get it in there to mix in and bond in with that corn syrup. I mean, it's not technically bonding, but you know, we want it to say it is. We want it to feel like it is. We want it to get in there and grab on. It's like dancing with it. That's what it's doing. So we want to get this just mixed in. That's all it is. It's just a mixture. So all that other stuff is goofing around. But like, we're just mixing this right in, stirring, mixing. As soon as it starts to get into those underlayers, then you can start speeding up your mixing. That's why I would recommend against a hand mixture at first, because it's just going to splatter that red dye everywhere. And now we can start really whipping it up and getting in our red color. This is going to be bright red, super bright. If you want it to look a little less translucent, you can add more red dye. So I'm going to stir that. I'm going to let that stirring away, making it clear, getting that red in there. And if we don't want it to look red anymore, we want it to look a little darker, we take our green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is an estimate, say 5. What I like about green is you can't do that with blue, right? Blue, you have to know exactly how many drops you're mixing in, because it's going to turn purple real quick. And once it goes purple, it is not coming back. It's going to be dark. It's going to be purple. And no matter what you add to it, it's just going to be a different shade of purple. Green darkens it. You can already see that it's done darker already. Less super bright translucent. Green darkens it without it going purple. It's still got this redness to it when I pull it out. So that's what we want. That's the quality that we want. So green is what I recommend. Adding those drops in there, it's going to save you a lot of heartache of pouring in all your ingredients. You get your dye and you get the red finally mixed in and you're happy. And then you add blue and then it turns purple and you're no longer happy anymore. Then it's already bad enough because blood effects are such a pain that all you need, the last thing you need, is it to be right there. You're making this in a hurry and all of a sudden it goes purple and you're like, what am I going to do? I just wasted a whole batch. There we go. That's our color. Looks great when it's pulled up. It's gonna thin out and it's gonna look a little translucent when you get it thin on the skin. But again, this is for like big pooling scenes, different stuff that you need it in a pinch, right? So that's the trade-off of what you get for getting it in a pinch. Now what I'm gonna add That's our edible version. Man, you can eat this. It's gonna taste great. It's sugary. If you want to add like a tablespoon of chocolate syrup, oh, even better. It makes it a tiny bit darker and you're in risk of a chocolate stain as well, but you can add that and it tastes better. Now, to make it wash out, any kind of dish soap, I'm taking this green dish soap that I grabbed off my sink. I'm putting about a tablespoon in here. This is no longer edible. It's not good for you. Some people swear that it's okay. Oh, it's only a tablespoon. You can eat it. No, it's soap. Don't put soap in your mouth. Don't put it on your skin. Don't put it in your eyes. You know, we're supposed to technically wear gloves when you wash dishes. None of us do. But that's what they're telling us because it dries out our skin. This is no good for us. So now this is washable and it's great for your costumes. You know, and your costume designer's gonna love you because the costume's gonna come back clean every single time. But this is horrible for the actors, especially if you're wearing it night after night after night after night. Eventually it's just gonna dry you out. It's gonna cause a whole bunch of bad reactions on your skin. If it gets in your eyes, man, your eyes are gonna burn. Gets in your mouth, that's not gonna taste good. But it looks the same. Now, the only other downside, you see these little bubbles, little sudsing. That's not what blood does. Blood doesn't bubble. It's not breathing, right? So we don't want that stuff in there. So that's the other downside of having a washable recipe with soap, is that the soap's going to make it suds up a little bit. It's also super slick. I don't recommend this one for the floor if you're going to step on it, because now there's soap in it. It's going to be slick and slippery. So you can put the other one, that's the food-based one, before you put in the soap. You can put that on the floor, but you're also going to attract some insects. So there's trade-offs left and right. But again, this is if it's in a pinch. If you're not in a pinch, save yourself the hassle, save yourself the time. Just get the blood jam. It's almost the same price for the buying all of these different ingredients and the time that you're going to put in. So you may spend less on the ingredients themselves, but you still got to put time making it. You've got to get the color right. You got to mix it up. You got to store it. If you just go with something that's already ready to go, that's non-toxic, it's edible, it's washable, it's going to save you a whole bunch of stress, a whole bunch of heartache, than trying to get these recipes right and doing it on the fly. But if you need to, this is my go-to. Even when I'm in a pinch and need to make something really fast, I'm just going to take 16 ounces of any corn syrup I can find, pour that in, 1 ounce of red dye. You're not going to find a bottle this big unless you go to some kind of, you know, restaurant wholesaler. Get one of those little small ones that you find at the grocery store. 1 ounce, that's 2 tablespoons. And add in a little bit of green if you want it dark. If you want it a nicer bright red, just add in maybe 2 ounces of red dye and you'll be good to go. It's going to stain. If you want it to clean out and wash out and not stain, add a little bit of dish soap. Any color, any kind of dish soap. Get the one that you use that's for hand washing dish soap. It's going to be safer for your skin, but it's still not great for your skin. Don't eat it. Don't put it on your face. Don't put it in your eyes. So that's how you make a quick homemade blood recipe. That's 2 different recipes, really fast, really quick. I hope that helps. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot us an email, info@gravityandmomentum.org. That's A-N-D, gravityandmomentum.org. We will be happy to help you out to make sure your blood effect's as successful and effective as it can be. All right, thank you. Bye.